We tell stories, and our story is tennis. And if you're a fan of tennis, I've got some bad news for you. I'm so sorry, but the good news is that we're getting the hang of our live streaming software over the past 4.5 days, and we just want to thank our audience for their patience. Thank you so much for bearing with us while we got the L plates on and the training wheels on, and a couple of tech issues along the way, but practice makes perfect, obviously, and we are enjoying the fruits of our labours. So yeah, a little bit of bad news surrounding the next instalment of Wimbledon 2023 first round day 2 wrap up as it happened. And dear. Well, I suppose we should be grateful, really. Anyway, so where is the schedule? I'm going to bring up the schedule. Actually, no, I won't. Actually, I won't bring up the schedule because yeah, all right. Look, let's do that. We'll bring up the schedule. Just 1 second, and bear with us. We've got to get back to a couple of tabs and make sure that we don't get too lost. So let's have a look at how day 2 of the schedule panned out for the grumpy old Poms. Still smarting after their kerfuffle in the long room at Lord's. So let's take a look at the schedule. Let me walk you through it, but we got to do this. So that's Stinger, just a bit of Pavlov's dog syndrome going on, just to get you all used to the fact that every time we change topics or go to a match or a press conference or a score update. And can I just say, I keep forgetting the new taglines, that we're here giving you the results, the match play, the scores, the tears, the tantrums, injury, timeouts. That's what it's all about. So I've forgotten that a couple of times this morning. So that's just a little personal touch that I want to bring to proceedings. But let's just take a look at the schedule. Unfortunately, it won't let me scroll down the page, which is so annoying. But you can go to this page yourself, like I'm going to do right now, back in my browser, because here's how we're going to go. There was a washout. That's the bad news. There was a washout. And so how we're going to roll is we're not going to continue with as proceed as we have been yesterday and today so far, because there is simply no action to talk about. And like you, I woke up this morning wondering how things panned out, and that's why we do these wrap-ups. To fill you in on what happened during the schedule. So what we're going to do here, I just want to explain, rather than going back to the action, because as you'll soon see, we're going to go through the schedule. I'm going to bring you up to date with all the matches and where they currently stand in a very sort of macro way. And after that, we'll just catch up briefly with a couple of the show court matches, the centre court matches. We won't go into copious detail, but we will bring you the results, because we want to wrap everything up within 30 minutes and leave it for the rest of the day, because we've got other things to do. At Wise Words Media, we've got a few other commitments to fulfill outside our tennis content, so excuse us if we trot off for lunch after this and get on to other commitments. So let's get into it with this. So I'm just going to leave up this this particular website for the moment. That is the draw for Wimbledon. I've already shown you in previous installments, episodes this morning, all about the press conferences. Might bring back that later on. I'm just going to leave this up for the moment, just that if you want to check this out in your own browser, it's the Wimbledon website. It's easy to find. You can go through it yourself, but as I said, Wise Words Media, this is our bread and butter. This is what we like to do. So let us just go down this schedule. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take you through all the matches that have been cancelled, court by court, and also just let you know what matches got to a certain point. So out on court 17, but before we get to court 17, we simply have to do this for brand consistency. And I'm being pedantic about that because I just want to set the scene for our podcast listeners, especially that when you hear the stinger, you know that there's a change of direction into a new topic coming up. So that's why I'm playing that stinger. So we're going to go through the schedule in reverse order, starting at court 17. And it's not good news because every single match was not completed, and the word cancelled pops up a lot. So Danielle, so for poor old Danielle Collins, she was up 6-4 against the Austrian Julie Graber, and they finished in bad light. Play was suspended right at the end of day one, their first round match, and they did not get back on court at all. They were due to scheduled to start second on court 17 for the day, and they couldn't even get out of the locker room. And the match that was scheduled before them also ended painfully early for Navarro, the American, against the 21st seed Alexandrova. It doesn't tell me who was leading. That's annoying. 6-4, 5-2, and the other matches were cancelled. So we're just going to slowly go through backwards up to centre court of the schedule. This shouldn't take too long. We're aiming to finish this in the half hour, this live stream episode. So all the matches on court 16 were all cancelled, and the unfinished match that was supposed to continue between Potapova and the Swiss player Naif, that was unable to continue. They also suspended in bad light on day one, 6-3, 3-all. Court 15, all the matches for the rest of the day two, cancelled. Also, now actually I've got to actually just catch myself here that I'm not too sure how far these matches got, or whether they actually did get to the court. So take it from me that I don't know whether they all strictly, it's just I know for a fact that Danielle Collins and Julie Graber, they definitely finished in bad light. So let's not pretend to speculate or guess. So what I'm going to say is that all matches on court 15 also cancelled for the day. They never got out there. Not one single match got going. And the match that was incomplete was between the Hungarian Fuchsovic and the Netherlands player, seeded 28, Griekspoor, 6-4, 3-1. I'm so sorry I can't say who was leading because the schedule doesn't let me say that. I mean, I could go, you can see there on the screen, there are scorecards there in the right-hand column of the of this website, but you can see, and I'll just show you that does actually scroll up and down. So you can see that I'm, you can see But look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I don't want to fiddle around too much, because there's nothing worse than looking at someone else's screen. And I'm thinking of a few work colleagues here where they're scrolling around, especially on Zoom. So enough about that. So court 14, and the reason you can't see this is because I can't scroll down through this broadcast software. At court 14, all those matches cancelled. None of the matches that were unfinished. Now I know for a fact, because previously this morning, I do recall that Brian Shelton of America, the 32nd seeded 32, his match was in progress today, day 2 against Taro Daniel of Japan, and I'm pretty sure it was Shelton leading 6-4, 4-2 as then they had to stop for the rain. As we get on to court 11, all matches cancelled. A familiar story. I apologise if it sounds boring, but when rain interrupts play at any tournament, it's boring. The match between two unseeded ladies players, the Slovenian Javan against the unseeded Batova, still has to finish. It's incomplete at 6-love 4-3. On court 10, there was just one match. I know that these guys were actually playing during the day. Safulin against Roberto Bautista Agut of España, the 20th seed. His match, that match between those two chaps, got as far as 6-2, 6-7, 7 points to 4, and then 7-6. 7 points to 4 with a reverse result. So I'm so sorry that I'm not going to go the effort of working out who's in front, because we want to get through this quickly. You can find this page yourself. You can see what it looks like. It's on the Wimbledon website, and it's all about trying to help our audience learn a bit more. If you didn't know, this schedule exists. Court 9, the Australian Chris O'Connell. Yes, Carolyn B. I'm going to do a little profile on him later on for yourself and all of our audience. Chris O'Connell, the Australian, has been a wild card over the past couple of years at the Australian Open. He's doing very nicely, thank you very much. And I can't remember if he won through the qualifying or if he's in the main draw. No, I can do this right now, so I'll just double check. A little bit of Australian bias steeping in. So he got a direct entry to the main draw because he is ranked, and I've just lost it. He's ranked 73 in the world, which gave him automatic entry to the main draw at Wimbledon, and he's up against the Serbian Medjedovic, and all matches cancelled for the day. All matches cancelled for the day on court 8. A couple of unfinished matches. Pera, the American, the ladies match, Tomova of Bulgaria, their match unfinished at 7-6, love 0, love 0, come on, love 1 in the second. Bonzi of France against Mayotte of France, that's also unfinished at 6-3, 5-3. On court 7, no play there, surprise, surprise. And the unfinished match there amongst the 4 scheduled. So I forgot to add that a lot of these are cancelled matches. There's up to 5 matches, most of them 4 that were cancelled. Court 7. The unfinished match between the American, this is the ladies' side of the draw, Brengle versus Irani of Italy, 6-3, 3-love, court 6, all cancelled. 4 matches, all cancelled. In the bloke side of the draw, or gentlemen's singles, I beg your pardon, Giron of America against the Bolivian Delian, 7-6, 1-2, and apologies that I can't tell you who's leading. And this is merely just to get through very quickly to finish up this presentation in the half hour that we've allotted ourselves. Court 5, all 4 matches cancelled. The only match that's unfinished that was scheduled to be the first match of the day, and I'm pretty sure these guys did get going. Mueller, the Frenchman, up against another Frenchman. There's so many Frenchmen in the men's draw playing another Frenchman. That's hilarious and purely unintended. And he's up against his fellow compatriot Rinderknecht, and that match is currently unfinished at 7-6. 1-love in the second, and we're getting up to the meaty end of business. The 5 matches scheduled for court 4, I think is the last outside court, or maybe one more. 5 matches there, all cancelled, and the Belgian Bonaventura against our mate from China, who won through the qualifying in 3 rounds of qualifying, Zheng Xiaobai, who's a very she goes about the court very seriously. You won't be seeing her cracking a smile at any stage during her match. That's her personality, and fair play to you. That match unfinished at 7-6. That is close. 7-6 in the first set and 4-love in the second. So curiosity will not get. I'm not going to get distracted. So court 18. We're going back to some of the other outside courts. They probably exist on the other side of the complex. Katie Bolter was definitely playing before rain cancelled all 4 matches on that court, sending them into the locker room to fire up their iPads, their iPhones. I don't know what they use. But Katie Bolter, the wild card British entry up against the Australian Daria Saville, the naturalised Australian. She was Russian. Now Australian, married to Luke Saville, the double specialist. They've only got into the first set up to 6-5. Katie Bolter, I know for sure, is down in that match. 5 cancelled matches on court 12. 2 unfinished matches between Mario Berrettini and he's up against his countrymen, 2 Italians. There you go, Lorenzo Sonengo. They have got as far as finishing the first set, where I'm pretty sure, actually I'm not sure who is leading, and Denis Shapovalov, the Canadian, the 26th seed, his match against the Moldavian Albot, unfinished at 7-5 2-all. And now we're getting into the business end. Show court, number 3 court, George Lofhagen, and he's just started. I know for sure that match is going. Presently, that is the first of 5 scheduled matches that were cancelled before the rain stopped play. George Lofhagen is giving a really good account of himself. He's the young debutante wildcard playing Holger Rune of Denmark, the 6th seed, and he's giving him a huge run for his money. And by all accounts is that George Lofhagen, the young Brit, is extremely well credentialed and has a lot of tickets on him that weren't put there by himself, but a lot of his admirers and coaches think that he is going to be the next big thing in British tennis for the next 15 years. I would not like to have the shoulders that have to carry that weight, because outside of that, the Poms, they love building people up, and they unfortunately tend to tear them down. Now, the second match that is unfinished, and they were unable to complete their match before bad light suspended play on the end of day 1. It's so long ago, it feels like. Now have a listen to this for a scoreline that for a match that hasn't been finished yet. Now imagine waiting to get this underway again. The scorecard 6-4, 2-6, 4-6, 7-5, 3-2. That is about as even as you can get. Have these blokes got any sleep? Will they get any sleep tonight? That is Yannick Hanfmann, the German. Come on, spit it out. Up against the 9th seed from America, Taylor Fritz. He was a semi-finalist or a quarter-finalist last year at Wimbledon, beaten by Nick Kyrgios. And that match is unfinished, and it's 2 sets all, and that is about as even as you could ever hope to be. So both players in with a chance. So it depends who comes out the most. Comes out of the warm-up when they restart their game. What's it going to be? 36 hours after their match got suspended due to bad light. On court number 2, 4 cancelled matches. We know for sure that Dominic Thiem and Stefanos Tsitsipas were pretending to play tennis, according to all reports. They were shocking, the both of them. They're both not natural grass court players, but one of them's got to win, so maybe they should just flip a coin if they're both playing so badly. They're into the second set, 6-3, 3-4. I think Thiem took out that first set. 4 matches altogether on court 2, all cancelled, of course. Now we get into a bit of reality, because Wimbledon 2 or 3 years ago they decided to they decided to put a big umbrella over court number one court, I beg your pardon, get it right, number one court and centre court. So all these matches got completed. So we're going to give you the results, and we'll give you those results after we do this. Okay, so let's get back to a bit of reality. Let's take a deep breath. And let's do one court at a time. So now that we're back on track, and we're well in 20 minutes we've been going. So we want to wrap it up soon because we don't want to test your patience. We're not just creating all this very differentiated content with a point of difference. We're not just going to sit here all day and press the button for live streams. No way known. We are professionals. So speaking of professionals, on number one court, all of these games have been completed. So let's just concentrate and turn the music down a bit. Get into the background, you samba, with your samba music. The first match, all these matches, the first match on number one court started at 1 p.m. Local time. Carlos Alcaraz, the Spanish number one seed, playing Jeremy Chardy of France in his very, very last ever professional match as an ATP Tour professional. Well done, Jeremy Chardy, 36 years of age, a very decent player, but on the day could not get the job done. And his final match, well done you. It's a shame it wasn't on centre court, but at least you got, at least you didn't get wet. The match, the Spaniard won in 3 sets, 6-love, 6-2, 7-5. Well done, Jeremy Chardy. He was well off his game in the first 2 sets, but he fired up. And in front of his family and friends and a very generous, knowledgeable crowd, he's finished off his career with a grin and a chuckle and a rueful smile, as was seen by many. The second match got underway, and the Tunisian, the very well credentialed sixth seed from Tunisia, Ons Jabeur. And I've got to admit, I got a soft spot for Ons Jabeur. I really enjoyed her march through to the final last year. I found her to be a very engaging character, and I really enjoyed her tennis. And I hope she can get through, because what I really liked about Ons Jabeur is she really, really, really is grateful to be a person who broke through, the first person from the Middle East, the first player, from the Middle East who got up into a Grand Slam final. So well done you, Ons. And she won 6-3, 6-3, defeating the Polish player Freck. And in the gentlemen's singles first round match that was out on centre court next, the British number one, the very well travelled, the very well run, and the very easy on the eye, and the ladies won't be caring about his game. This chap, Cameron Norrie, of Great Britain, the 12th seed. He had a great run last year before he ran out of legs. He defeated his Czech opponent, the unseeded Marchach, 6-3, 4-6, 6-1, 6-4. And the final match on number one court that was completed under the roof was a real tight tussle between an Argentinian and a Spaniard. Echeverry got up over Zapata Maria, 6-7, 7 points to 5 in the first set. Tiebreaker, 5-7, 6-3, 6-4, 7-5. Well done, you. And now we'll move on to centre court results. If we'll just do a little bit of this. And it looks like we might actually sneak in under our 30-minute self-imposed time limit. Nice work. So we know for sure that we got this result before rain suspended play. We know that the defending champion from Kazakhstan, Rybakina, she got over Shelby Rogers, who's a very experienced professional on the WTA tour. Rogers 4-6 in the first, but she couldn't maintain the level of her game, and it was a pretty straightforward 6-1, 6-2. Next up was Andy Murray of Great Britain, and he was playing Ryan Peniston. Both of these players from Great Britain, and Andy Murray was heard to say that he feels that he's in the best shape going into a Wimbledon tournament ever in recent times. Now, I don't know what the time span is of what he's referring to, whether it's last year, the year before, maybe in 10 years, I don't know, because he had that horrible hip injury that nearly sent him into tennis professional retirement homes. So it's great to see him up and running around, and it's good to see him smiling and a bit, have a bit of lightness about you. Andy, good work. So the second last match on centre court that was completed under the roof, a straight sets win to Arina Sabalenka. The number 2 seed defeated the Hungarian Udvardy, and the last match was Grumpy Dan Evans. Jeez, Grumpy Dan Evans. He was having a shocking time during his first round match, and he was not happy. Now, I've got a feeling his match started the day before on the outside courts. I've just got this feeling that I remember him having a whinge about something. Anyway, the whinging did not come to much at all because he lost. 27 seed. Dan Evans, now let's be serious for a second and straighten up, because Dan Evans is a decent player. He is a decent player, and he's performed some great work on the Davis Cup side of things. So, I don't know, did he... I don't know. Did he have... What's that condition where people get affected by grey skies? Maybe he had that. Anyway, so he was defeated by Hallis of France in 3 sets, is it? Yeah, 6-2, 6-3, 6-7 in the third, and then 6-4 in the fourth. So he lost that. He won that tiebreaker in the third, 7 points to 5. So at least he gave it a good shake. And all the best, Dan Evans. Look, you can have a joke and at people's expense, but look, we wish these guys and girls all the best. And that's how it panned out. So let us know what you think. And we still like keeping everything nice and interesting for you from the point of view that in the background we'll always have these this footage playing because we want to show off Melbourne, Australia, and Melbourne Park, because that's our bread and butter, and we can put this up the sound a bit. So there you go. Let us know what you think. What did you think of day 2? Probably not much. If you one of the things about living in Australia and trying to watch Wimbledon is and the Ashes is you are if you make the effort to stay up and do your thing try and support your sporting professionals. It's days like this where the rain comes down and you think, am I going to stay up? And I can tell you at my age, the answer is no. It's always no these days. Never used to be, but that is the beauty of looking at things the next day with a fresh head, a fresh cup of tea, and fresh eyes and a fresh attitude, because that's the whole reason we're doing this for our audience. The first round wrap-up of day 2, well, that is done and dusted. So the schedule, they're behind, but we'll be back again tomorrow at some stage, because with our commitments, we can't always, we're not always going to be able to get going at the same time every day, but you'll see from our schedule when we've got the first wrap-up as it happened ready to go. And tomorrow we'll again be going through the results, the match play, the scores, the tiers, the tantrum, the injury timeouts, and the weather forecast, just for good measure. So let us know what you think. Let us know what you think about how your favourite players are going. Let us know how you think all this content is panning out. We want to grow. We want to grow our audience. We want to get rid of the fans, not the tennis fans. Just 1 second. We'll get rid of these fans. Get rid of these fans. We want to make sure that we're meeting your requirements in your tennis content diet, and take it easy. Pretend that you're in a deck chair at Melbourne Park, just watching from afar as the matches play out under the Australian sun. So that's about it from us. That's it for today. We might come back later on today. We're also going to do a separate episode as we rack up a few questions from the audience. And thanks again, Carolyn B. We'll do that in a separate episode to answer your questions and do player profiles or whatever. We're also going to be doing player interviews. This may not be till after the tournament, because we don't want to try and cram too much in, because we appreciate that you can't watch everything all the time as it rolls out, but we also don't want to crowd our schedule. We want to do a good job of it. So the player interviews may come after the tournament, but this is a good way to keep everything fresh and keep the knowledge there, and make sure that everyone's best interest is served. So we've gone over the 30 minutes. We came very close. So you've been listening to The Bloke Who Walks. This Australian Open Live is produced by Wise Words Media in Melbourne, Australia. Our bread and butter, what we do best is the Australian Open at Melbourne Park, but we're branching out to try and grow the audience. We know that there's demand for this sort of content. We bring you content with a point of difference. We're wanting to be more flexible, more adaptive, more dynamic. So let us know how we're doing and engage with us. Join the conversation. Let us know how we're doing, or let us how we're not doing. Any reaction, positive or negative, we're grown-ups, we can take it. So let us know, and if you can drop a like, drop a comment, drop a reaction, drop in, drop by, but please, whatever you do, don't drop out. Make sure you come back. We've had about nearly 400 of you dropping in as the new audience members. It's great to see you all, so let us know, and we'll finish off there. So we're incredibly keen to build and grow our audience. We know that we've got a lot to offer, and we know that there's a lot of tennis still to come up, because the US Open is ahead, and we want to keep going with this and lead into the Australian Open 2024 afterwards. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and bye for now.